I'm aiming to 100% every game in my Steam library. I play a wide variety of games, and earning every achievement makes me feel like I've gotten the most out of the game and the most bang for my buck. Today, I'm grabbing all the achievements for ManEater is an open-world shark simulator game where we must level up by any means to become the most ferocious apex predator to ever grace the waters. The game released in 2020 with the DLC coming out a year later, which I'm also including to grab the full 100% and every achieve the game has to offer. With 44 achievements up for grabs, let's get into the grind. The game opens up by introducing Scaly Pete, a rough, gristled fisherman and captain of the Cajun Queen. He has one goal and one goal only in this life: to rid Port Clovis of all sharks to keep waters safe for the inhabitants of the city. The cutscenes play out like a reality TV show you'd see on the Discovery Channel, which I found to be a neat way of going about portraying the storyline. While giving the rundown on himself, he's interrupted by a radio call stating there's a shark on the loose with several casualties around the area. This is where we take control of our shark. We run through the tutorial, learning basic controls and how to navigate the waters. Completing the prompts on the screen and acquiring an understanding of how the game operates earns us our first achieve, Learn to Swim, for doing the tutorial. Our first objective is to consume 10 beachgoers. After making our way to the shore and doing our best Jaws impression, we gain the attention of Scaly Pete. When terrorizing enough humans and gaining enough infamy, you will then be pursued by hunters. If you eliminate so many hunters and their boats, you'll attract the attention of a bounty hunter. When taking out enough hunters in this case, Scaly Pete arrives to try to take us down. A cutscene starts and we're immediately hit with the work, being informed that we've been captured. This is when we get the Survivor achievement. This was a bit premature because the cutscene then plays out, setting up the rest of the game. Having captured the shark that's been wreaking havoc in the area, Pete removes the harpoon from our side and then cuts us wide open. We hear a small shriek from inside, learning that the shark was pregnant. You guessed it, the little shark is us. Pete talks some smack before slicing us, leaving a scar so we're easily recognizable later on. After this, we bite half his arm off before launching back into the water, making our escape. Now taking control of this little lady, we have to make our way to Fawtick Bayou Grotto. Grottos are safe areas, with one being in each region of the game. Here we can equip new evolutions and change our appearance. Making it to the first grotto and evolving for the first time, we unlock the Adaptation achievement for doing so. We can gain XP in this game by eating wildlife around the area, doing side quests, taking out larger predators, killing humans and hunters, and finding any of the various collectibles in the world. Normally, I would grind collectibles after the main game was completed. However, I found that getting collectibles earned me massive amounts of XP compared to chomping wildlife, so I'll be going out of my way for those throughout the game. There are 3 different types of collectibles to grab. License plates, because of the classic trope. Landmarks, which give little quirky glimpses of objects in and out of the water, and caches. Caches provide various types of nutrients which we can use to pump into upgrades to our abilities later on. Heading back to the grotto after eating my way around the area for a while, we age up and earn the Growing Up achievement for reaching Teen Growth. There's achieves tied to each stage of growth, with Teen being the first, followed by Adult, Elder, and Mega later on. I spent a lot of time roaming around for collectibles and doing everything possible in the game to reach these milestones, as it will make dealing with the apex predators and doing many of the quests far easier throughout the playthrough. Taking on a side quest, we're tasked with consuming 10 humans. While doing these, your threat meter rises, and when it's full, the hunters start to flock. I decided to test my skills as a low-level shark against the waves of humans. The ring around the number is your infamy level. When the ring fills up is when the bounty hunters come into play. Bayou Willie shows up as the first bounty hunter we run into. Laying waste to more of the hunters and taking Willie down levels up our infamy level, resulting in the Infamy Level 1 achievement pop. There's 8 different regions in the game, with 7 of them having a specific apex predator to take out. Each region contains a few target creatures that are higher level than the usual predators you'd find there. Once taking these out, the apex is revealed and we must take it down. Taking the apex predators down can be tricky sometimes, especially in the early game. The various types of wildlife have different attack patterns, and occasionally the environment can be tight, leaving your movement limited. There's also a chance that during your scuffle, random other predators will aggro by proximity and start attacking you as well. In order to heal, you have to consume the apex, regular predators, or find a moment to consume regular wildlife while avoiding incoming damage. The apex barracuda is the first apex we encounter in the Dead Horse Lake region, and when taking it down we earn the Delicious achievement. The next region is Golden Shores, where after taking out enough predators, we run into the apex mako shark. Once we defeat it and gobble it up, we get the Shark on Shark Violence achievement pop. Now that I've progressed into new areas, leveled up a bit, and have become more confident in my combat abilities, I decided to head back to the first region of the game. You can fast travel to any of the discovered grottos on the map, and traveling back to Fautic Bayou, I was immediately hit with another evolution. The On Your Own achievement pops for reaching adult growth. Heading back into Fautic Bayou to finish up any quests and grab the attainable collectibles, I run into the Apex Alligator. Naturally, taking this bad boy out gives us the pop for the Gator Meat achievement. These achievements are going to come at you pretty fast, and it is what it is. A lot of the achieves in this game are very copy-paste, and the setup for one will explain how I got the others. With that being said, we now head through the Sapphire Bay region and take out the Apex Hammerhead, earning the Pound It achievement for that. Now, having done numerous side activities and leveling up a hefty amount, I venture back into the story. We head to the area where we can find Scaly Pete and his son Kyle trolling around on their boat. Pete and Kyle butt heads a lot because Kyle is more of the book learning type and Pete knows shark hunting and shark hunting only. Still a bit salty about the murder of our mother, we challenge the fellas and attack their armored vessel. Taking out the armor and waves of reinforcement results in the Survived Again achievement pop. A cutscene plays out where we board their boat, and being unsatisfied with only taking Pete's arm, we chomp off one of his legs while he screams for Kyle to douse us with fuel. Being lit on fire, we retreat back into the water, exposing the gas tank in the process. Kyle tries to save the ship with the fire extinguisher, but he's too late to stop the explosion. With Kyle now deceased, Pete legless, and their boat slowly sinking, we're satisfied for now and take our leave. We're then placed back in the nearest grotto with the Wiser achievement popping for reaching Elder Growth. Throughout the world there are grates that you're able to break through, but some are growth dependent, requiring you to reach a certain level of evolution before being able to break through. Behind these grates are some of the collectibles we need to obtain, and upon reaching Elder Growth we're able to smash through the majority, if not all of them. Heading back to a previous area, we grab the last collectible in Golden Shores, unlocking the Tourist Terror achievement for doing so. Over the course of the game, we're able to acquire various evolutions to improve our stats, as well as our chance of survival in combat. You can earn these by killing apex predators, getting collectibles, and taking out bounty hunters. After wreaking havoc and raising our infamy to level 5, we take out Tyler Dixon, earning us the New Breed achievement for obtaining 50% of the available evolutions. This is where I decided to really focus on grinding most of the side activities, slowly but surely making my way toward the next tier of growth. Heading to new regions and spending quite a bit of time grinding, I reached Mega Growth, getting the Ocean Terror achievement pop. We're all grown up now. Having reached level 30 and max growth, there isn't much that can stop us in our tracks now. Continuing to grind out all the miscellaneous activities, I methodically made my way through several of the regions. We snag everything in Prosperity Sands and take out the Apex Great White Shark, earning the This Is My Movie achievement pop. Once it's eliminated, we get the prompt to check in on Scaly Pete again. Understandably, he's pretty upset. What with taking his arm and leg and sinking his boat and also sort of killing his son, and now he's on his revenge arc. The cutscene shows him preparing explosives and getting ready to take us out with zero care for anything he destroys along the way. When the cutscene finishes, we get the Vacation from Hell achievement for completing everything in Prosperity Sands. Setting our sights now on the Caviar Keys region, we grab everything and take on the Apex Orca, getting a nice double pop for the Tricks Didn't Help Ya and Entertained to Death achievements for taking down the Apex and completing everything in this region. The Gulf region is next up, with this area being the most expansive, filled with predators and the least human activity. Again, we get everything here and face off against the largest apex yet, the sperm whale. This thing really packed a punch, being double our max level, but we take it out without too much grief and obtain another double pop, gaining the I Thought You Were Tough achieve for taking out the whale, and the new Apex Predator achievement for destroying all Apex Predators in the base game. With all the grinding I've done up to this point, Chiefs are starting to unlock in rapid succession now. Reviewing the map and knocking off the remaining collectibles and regions was a breeze now. Heading back to the first region, Fautic Bayou, we finish it up earning the Dominating the Bayou achievement for completing everything there. Making our way back through Dead Horse Lake, we grab the last of the license plate collectibles, earning the Garbage Collector achievement for that. Very shortly after this, we pop the Queen of the Wasteland achievement for finishing up Dead Horse Lake region. We head back to Sapphire Bay now to wrap things up there, and upon doing so, we get another double pop, earning the Dropping Property Values achievement for completing this region, and the Deep Sea Explorer achieve for collecting all the nutrient caches in the game. Growing a little bored of the collectible grinding at this point, I decided to finish up the story in our last stand against Pete and his new and improved boat. This is a fun fight that I could see being a decent challenge if you aren't fully leveled up by this point. However, having grinded so hard up until now, the fight was a piece of cake. Finishing the fight and facing off with Pete one last time, we earned the Vengeance is Mine achievement pop before the final cutscene plays out. This was a nice distraction, but with the story being wrapped up, it's back to the collectibles. I can't complain though, because after roaming around the Gulf and finally finding the last collectible needed, I became diamond hard after receiving a beautiful triple pop, earning the Tourist achievement for finding all landmarks, the Ruler of the Deep achieve for completing everything in the Gulf, and the Queen of the Ocean achievement for reaching 100% completion in every region in the base game. With almost everything done in the main game, I shift focus onto the Truth Quest DLC for a while. We have to complete a few objectives in the main world to unlock access to the new section of the map containing the DLC area, and once arriving to the new location, we unlock the I See Site P achievement for reaching Plover Island Complex. There's new predators here, and all of them come with their own evolution abilities, such as electric, shadow, bone, and atomic abilities. These evolutions give them different status effects to inflict upon us, which makes taking them down a little bit more of a challenge. The complex also has its own set of collectibles we need to gather, as well as an additional set of collectibles we'll touch on in a moment. The new area isn't that large, so doing everything isn't horrible. I went through gathering whatever I came across with the main goal of taking out all the new predators, since there's achieves tied to each one. I'm gonna speed run through a few of these. There's an electric great white shark that we take out for the Electric Burn achievement. We take down a shadow orca and unlock the Shadow Killer achievement. And for now, we defeat the Bone Sperm Whale and get yet another double pop, earning both the Bone Breaker achieve for taking down the whale, as well as the Atomic Bomb achievement for acquiring the entire Atomic Evolution set. The base game level cap is 30, but the DLC grants an additional 10 levels to acquire. Some of the targets in the DLC are ships we have to take out. The DLC has a new set of human enemies, the Sailors. These are military personnel posing more of a threat than the Hunters from the base game. After grinding out the complex and completing several side activities, we take out a boat target and reach level 40, getting the pop for the 40 and Flirty achievement. We're able to move freely between the main game and DLC maps whenever we want, so after peeping the remaining achievements on the list, I head back to the main map to raise my infamy level. The two maps have a different infamy gauge, so we'll need to raise both eventually. When arriving back to the main map, I was at infamy level 8, so it wouldn't take much to get to where I needed to be. I spent the next hour taking out as many humans as possible to get the Hunters to come after me, and fought my way through hordes of them until the two remaining bounty hunters came after me. Once the 10th bounty hunter was eliminated, I got another double pop and earned the Science Experiment and Infamy level 10 achievements for getting 100% of all available evolutions and maxing out the Infamy level. I mentioned before that the DLC came with a new set of collectibles. These are Questers. The Questers are tinfoil hat-wearing humans that are scattered across both maps. Once consuming the last Quester, I got the pop for the Fanfare achievement. So, the Infamy level for the DLC only goes to level 5, however getting there is more challenging than in the main game. The Sailors are more aggressive than the Hunters, they have beefier ships, harder hitting weapons, and some of them also operate helicopters. Instead of bounty hunters for each level, we're met with higher and higher ranked officers associated with the military base. Once raising our infamy high enough here, we're introduced to Admiral Barbara Terranova, who we have to eliminate. Once we do, we get a double pop for taking down the Admiral and getting 100% completion for the DLC map with the 4-star rank and Island Queen Chiefs popping. Along with the new set of collectibles, the DLC introduced a new set of side activities. Time trials were added to the mix. These are simple enough, with us just having to use the skills we've learned to swim through rings in an allotted amount of time, gaining a few seconds on the timer for each ring we swim through. However, some of these would prove more difficult than others. A few of them really tested my skills and patience, with either a difficult to navigate section or extremely tight timing. I spent quite some time on these, but eventually completed them all, unlocking the perfect timing achievement. With the time trials, collectibles, predators, and everything else done for the DLC, there's one final thing we need to do. The final Truth Quest boss is the Atomic Leviathan. This is the highest level predator yet at level 100. Encountering this thing for the first time is quite intimidating. Look at the size of this fucker. Here's how my first fight against this thing went. On my second attempt, I went in with the intent of evading constantly and playing the slow game. With this tactic in mind, I fought for my life, eventually besting the Leviathan and earning the final 2 achievements in another double pop. Apex Eater and I Can Handle the Truth for killing the Atomic Leviathan and completing everything the DLC has to offer. And boom, that's it. All ManEater achievements in the bag. I personally really enjoy this game. There's so much to do and it really just held my attention throughout. The combat is challenging but rewarding when you get the hang of it. The sheer amount of collectibles is a little annoying, but they do their best to add some humor and references into those to make it a little bit more bearable. My only real beef was with the time trials, as there's one per region on both maps, which was a bit much and some of them were just miserable to complete. But other than that, no real negative things to say about the game, and the achievement grind is fun. Thanks for watching another video. I have more in the works. I'm aiming to keep getting these out like I have been, with one dropping every other Sunday. Hopefully. Life may get in the way as it does, but who knows. Like and subscribe, please, and come say hi over on Twitch if you'd like. I got a really welcoming amalgamation of peeps over there, and we'd love to have you. Take care. Smooches.